Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Myself Ganesh. Today we are talking about this concept, that is this how to run this Linux commands under this Ruby language, and using this Ruby language that Linux command will execute properly on this Linux server, and we will see the concept of this run list. Under that run list, how we can run our recipes and how we can include that recipes. So we will do this all concept under this demonstration. So first we will cover how to run that Linux commands using this Ruby language, right? So we have this web cook, that is my cookbook which I have created. So just I'm going under this web cook and just running this command tree. So under it there is one Ruby file we have created, that is web-recipe.rb. So we have creating another file, that is generate space recipe and giving the name, that is recipe1. Okay, or you can say, just one moment. Okay, now we are going to create one recipe, that is recipe1 under this web cookbook. So here we are going to write. So before write this recipe, first we need to go inside our cookbook folder, and here we need to specify this cookbook name first, slash recipe slash recipe name which you have created, that is recipe1, and enter it, shift G O. So how we can first in this recipe we are executing our Linux commands. So first we need to use the attribute, that is execute space double inverted comma, and here we need to specify the script, that is I can, okay, one moment, I can run one script. Just I'm going to specify it and do enter. Now you need to use this another attribute, that is command, and here you need to specify two times less than sign space hyphen EOH and enter. EOH is nothing but your end of here, okay, or end of. Here you need to specify the command, the Linux command which you want to run, that is, like suppose I am going to run, that is the command mkdir space under slash, just I want to create one directory, that is Ganesh dir directory, enter. If I want to create one file, so you can use the touch space inside this directory, just I want to create it with the name test file, enter. So whatever the command you are putting here, these are the Linux command. If you want to run another command, like if you want to assign this ch mode, if you want to assign some permission to that particular uh, file or folder, you can specify like chmod space 700 space Ganesh directory, okay, enter it. Chowner, if you want to assign some ownership to that particular directory, you can assign it chowner. If suppose I want to assign chowner space root space gun directory, you can assign it, enter. If you want to provide any restrictions to that particular directory, you can specify it. Whatever the command you are using here, so that command will execute under this script, right? And now we are going to end using this EOH first, end of head and end of here, and you need to end it, okay, and just save it. Now you need to execute this command using this chef hyphen client space hyphen zr space double ended comma recipe space bracket. You need to specify your cookbook name two times column, and you need to specify your recipe name, that is recipe 1, right? And close this bracket with the double quoted sign, right? Just enter it. Now you can see these commands are execute using this EOH education, right? So you can check either this directory is created or not using this, using under this slash Ganesh. This is the directory which I have created. Under that you can see this file is created. If you want to add some content here, you can add it. If you want to check their permission, ls hyphen lrt ls hyphen ld, this is my directory, so I need to check it using this ls hyphen ld. So there is the permission which I have said, that is 700. So here it is reflected. So like that you can execute any linux command. So this is the way you can use. And the another way, if suppose you want to execute these commands, I'm going to execute under this another recipe. Okay, no issue. Okay, I'm going to create another recipe. This recipe I need to create. First I need to go under this cookbook. That is my cookbook name. Under, okay, just one minute, I need to go under that particular directory slash home ec2 slash cookbook slash with cookbook under it. And just I'm going to create another recipe with the name recipe 2. Okay, yeah, so this command, and just I'm going to execute this recipe 2. Okay, so before execute, first you need to go one step back, and you need to specify this recipe 2. Here I am going to run this command. Like if I want to create any user with this linux command, so directly you need to use like user. There is nothing you need to specify any attribute or something. So default whatever the user, if you are mentioning like Ganesh, okay, this is the user which I want to create it, just put it here. Either it is single inverted comma or double inverted comma, you can specify. If you want to create any file, you can specify file name, suppose giving this test one file. Okay, under this directory, under this user, yeah, under this slash, just I'm going to create this test one file, enter it, and you can save it. Okay, so this is the way you can use it. And if you want to run this script, so here I need to change this recipe to enter it. So here it will create one user. Okay, now it is created one user and one file is created. So this is the another way you can run your linux commands, how to create your directory, how to create any files, and whatever the commands you want to use, you need to specify under this double quoted with this command line, that is make directory touch whatever you want to run it. So now we are creating another cookbook. Actually we have created one user, that is the name, user, that is Ganesh. So you can check this user is created or not. So you can check it under slash etc slash password, and you can specify with this grep, and you need to specify this username. So this user is now created, right? So this is the uid gid, and this is the home directory, this is the bash file which is by default when your user is created. So this is the method you can use to create your machine. If you want to create this new user under this same one, just I need to create it using this user, and this is my group. Okay, and group name suppose I am giving, that is hoc. Okay, and just I'm going to save it. So this HOC group will create, so you can check. Okay, only this HOC group is created, all two parameters already updated, so it will reflect as up to date, because whatever the updates are available under your recipe, only that update will execute. Now we are going to check either this group is created or not. So how you can check it? So you can check cat space slash etc slash group space pipe space create and specify your group name. So here HOC group is now created. So like that you can create it. um, okay, one more recipe we will create under cd space one step back. Okay, cd space cookbook, enter it. Under this web cookbook, cd space web cookbook, shape space generate space recipe, and recipe name giving that is recipe 2. Okay, enter it. So with the name recipe 2, it will create it. So go to one step back here and vi space web cookbook recipe 2. Under recipe 2 we will add it. Okay, we are creating this one another user. That is the name. Suppose I have mentioned that is HOC group we have already created, right? So again we are giving this name, that is HOC space, here I am specifying HOC and you put here 2. So this HOC is already created, no issue. We are creating giving this name, that is action, we are specifying that is create. Here I can mention, okay, here you need to mention action and specify this action as create, enter it. Under it we are going to insert one user. Okay, that is the member of this user, that is my member. I'm specifying that is ion user. Okay, this is my ion user which I'm going to create it. So under this HOC there is no other is created, no other user is available, right? So whatever the users are available under this HOC, so it will add this another user with the parameter that is the append. Okay, so you need to specify append space true. So using this append true means under your group, whatever your group is created and that group is having any one user or two user or three user, so whatever the members we are adding, that is ion member I am going to add under this HOC. So this user will add, okay, with that particular users. Means if suppose user 1, user 2, user 3 are already available and these are the part of HOC, so this ion also will be the part of this HOC. And if suppose you are not going to mention that is append true, so at that time whatever the users are available under that HOC group, so they will remove and only create this ion user under that HOC group. So if you want to make this new user, that is ion user is the part of HOC and all remaining users also be available, so then you need to specify that is the append true. Okay, and you need to specify, you need to close it using this end. Okay, enter it. Now I am going to execute this script with this recipe 2. Okay, recipe 2, enter it. Okay, one moment. I think something went wrong. Member. Here it is showing that is a education dump road. Federal provides this container. No method, undefined method. Okay, members. Okay, you need to specify this members is nothing but your members. RS you need to specify here. Okay, members and enter it. Now you can try to execute it. Ion does not exist. Okay, this Ion user we have not created, so that's why it is not adding here, right? So we have another script that is in under recipe 1, right? In recipe 1, okay, no issue. One moment, in under this recipe 2, we have already created the user that is the Ganesh, right? So that Ganesh user we can add here, because this user needs to available on your server. So after that it will add if you want to make this user as the part of HOC. Okay, so just enter it and you can run it now. Now you can see this Ganesh user is now part of this HOC, right? So you can check it using this cat space slash etc slash group grep and HOC. So here it will reflect this Ganesh user is the part of HOC, right? So this is the recipe you can create, and you can use these commands to execute your Linux machine. So how you can execute your Linux machine? So using this attribute you can use it. So it's very simple. Now we are going to see this next concept, that is the run list. Okay, so this run list is nothing but, so whatever the recipes are available, so we have done this activity, means whatever the recipes we have created and we have run it one time only. Okay, means single time we have run only one recipes. Now we are going to run the multiple recipes with multiple cookbooks, right? So under this run list, so multiple cookbooks having their multiple recipes, so that recipes how we can execute at the same time. Okay, so that is nothing but your run list. So the idea is, there are two cookbooks are available, that is Ion cookbook and one is the web cookbook, right? So that both the cookbook having their multiple recipes, right? So that multiple recipes how you can execute at the same time. So how you can run that command? So first I need to check under this Ion recipes, that is going under this directory, that is recipe. Here you can see there are recipe 1 2 3 4, 3 and 5. These are the recipes under this Ion cookbook, and I'm going to back 2 steps, and under this web cookbook you can see the recipes, that is recipe 1, recipe 2 and web recipe. Okay, so these are the recipes we have created. Now I want to execute the recipes from Ion cookbook. This is the recipe 1 and this is my recipe, web recipe on my web cookbook at one time. Okay, so how you can do it, and this is nothing but your run list. So this is the concept of run list. So just you need to specify the command chef hyphen client space hyphen zr space double unit comma. Here you need to mention recipe square bracket. Here I am going to specify this Ion cookbook 2 times colon and going to specify this recipe 1 and close this square bracket. Here you need to specify comma, and again you need to specify the recipe square bracket. This is my web cookbook 2 times colon space. Here I am going to execute my web hyphen recipe. Okay, and close it. Okay, now this square bracket is closed, and now this total single inverted double inverted comma I am going to close it just. Okay, so before going to execute it, I am going to just one moment. I'm going to add it under this web cook. This is the web recipe which I have created. So just I want to add it something under this web recipe. So go to under this web cook recipes. This is my recipe, enter it. Here I have mentioned shift G, and just I want to update some contents here. Okay, this is the demo for run list. Okay, run underscore list and save it. Okay, so here it will update their content only. So just now I am going to execute this recipe. You can see this will update. Okay, there are some fatal errors are available, like okay, could not find this recipes. Okay, just one moment. Actually here you need to specify only recipes. Okay, and recipe, which recipe I have created under this web cookbook, that is my web recipe. This is my web recipe, and here you need to specify only this recipe one, not .rb, right? Actually I have mentioned wrongly, so just enter it. While executing you need to put only this recipe name, not this dot extension rb file. Okay, now you can check this public IP address of your Linux machine. This is my public IP address of my Linux machine, and just cross check either it is working or not. So you can see this is the demo for this run list, right? So which I have updated under this Apache, so it will execute properly. So it is working, right? So this is nothing but your run list. Run list is nothing but whatever the recipes which are available under multiple cookbooks. Okay, so from another cookbooks we can run the recipes at the same time. Now we can see this how to execute these recipes from single cookbook. Okay, multiple recipes, how we can run it from single cookbook. So I can see again, cd space web cookbook. Here you can see this is my recipes. Just enter it. Here is the recipe, that is recipe 2 and web-recipe 3. Okay, again I am going to change the content under it, either it is working or not. Just we need to verify it. So just I am going to change the content again. Here this is the demo for how to include the multiple recipes from single cookbook. Okay, and just save it. Okay, so the command is same. You can use the same command, just the difference is you need to specify that particular. Okay, you can see, if suppose I am going under this web cookbook, so here is the folder, that is the recipe. Under recipe there is one default recipe is available, right? So here we are going to add, that is recipe 2 and web recipe. So just I am going to paste it here. So this is my run list, and now we are going to do this using. Okay, here I am going to mention, that is my recipe. So I need to go one step back, two step back. Okay, vi space web cookbook recipe and default. Okay, under default recipe you need to include that recipe. So enter it, shift G O, and here you need to specify this include. Okay, you need to include, because we are going to include the recipes, multiple recipes from single cookbook. Include underscore recipe, and you need to specify with this double inverted comma, that is your recipe, square bracket, web hyphen cookbook, two times column. I'm going to use this recipe to, okay, this is my recipe 2 from this web cookbook. You need to specify this another cookbook also. So here I have mentioned, that is my taste book. Okay, just one moment. Here the parameter we need to set, that is my recipe, and here is the name recipe 2. Okay, yeah, so like that you need to mention. So this is the parameter you need to use. So I am going to add this another recipe here with the name, that is my web underscore recipe. Okay, and you need to specify double inverted comma and just save it. Okay, now you need to execute that. Same you need to use, that is web cookbook, two times column, and here you need to specify this default one, right? So default. Okay, and close this square bracket, close your square double inverted comma, and enter it. So here we have specified under this default dot recipe, we have mentioned two recipes of your single cookbook. Okay, web cookbook having this multiple recipes, and if you want to run particular recipes at the same time, okay, multiple recipes at the same time within that same cookbook, you need to specify using this include underscore recipes under this default one. Okay, default recipes, and you need to run that default recipes using this command. Enter it. Okay, so all these parameters are up to date, only these contents are now updated. You can check it again. You need to refresh this page, and you can see this content are now reflected. So this is the demo for how to include the multiple recipes from single cookbook. Okay, so this is the part of this, how to include the recipes from the single cookbook. Okay, now we are going to combine our run list and the run list and how to run list and include. Okay, so how we can do it? So same thing we need to do. Here we need to specify. So we are just combining this both the concept, that is run list and include of the recipes from the single cookbook. Okay, so how you can do it? Same commands you need to use, just you need to specify whatever the recipes you want to apply. So under this web cookbook, there is one recipe, that is the default. So we have already specified under this default one. Now we are going to use another cookbook, that is the iron cookbook. Here is the recipe, and okay, recipes, just you need to check how many recipes, which are these are the recipes I want to include it here. Okay, so first you need to specify under this default one. So how you can do it? Vi space iron space recipe space default. So here is my default recipes in under this iron cookbook. Recipe 3 and recipe 5 we are adding here. So shift G, you need to specify shift G here, include underscore recipe space double inverted comma. Here you need to specify this Ayan underscore cookbook, and here you need to specify the 2 times column recipe 3, close it. Again we need to specify that is a recipe 5. Okay, so these are the two recipes we are adding under this default one of your Ayan cookbook. Save it. Now if you want to execute both run list and your include, so how you can do it, right? So now I am going to execute the command, that is this chef hyphen client hyphen zr space double inverted comma. Here you need to specify the recipe square bracket Ayan cookbook. This is my Ayan cookbook. 2 times column. Here you need to specify default. So whatever the recipes you have added under this default recipe, so it will execute. Okay, so you need to specify the comma. Again you need to specify recipe. Here I am going to use web underscore cookbook 2 times colon, and here again I am to specify default. So whatever the recipes we have added under this default, it will execute at the same time. So this is the method you can use to run your run list and your include both the recipes using this command. Okay, so here one error is getting, like please provide the content on this text trace file if you are using this bug repeat prediction factor. Okay, no worry. Default. Okay, one moment, I need to check it again. Shape recipe Ayan, and okay, just one moment. Here is, we need to use this underscore. Actually we have mentioned our cookbook name with this Ayan underscore cookbook. Enter it. Again it is getting some error. Shape provide stop addition failed, HTTP server exception. Okay, default. Okay, here is the name, that is the cookbook. Okay, looks good now, and try it again. Okay, same error again. Okay, one moment, I need to check what exact cause is here. Okay, the problem is that actually when we have inserted under this Ayan cookbook, so here I have mentioned that is the Ayan underscore cookbook, and this cookbook name is Ayan hyphen cookbook. So that is the problem. So just I have corrected it and just save it. And under this web cookbook there is the default, that is my recipe 2 and web hyphen recipe. So these are the 2 recipes I have added, and I have just executed it. So again I am going to add it under this web cookbook. Yeah, this is my web cookbook. Yeah, this is my web cookbook, and just I'm going to add it. Yeah, just I'm going to mention here, combining combine the run list, run underscore list and include. Okay, So these I am going to uh, use under this web page. So this web page will displays when we are going to run this recipes using this command, right? So this yeah, just I need to refresh it. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, combine the run list and the include. Okay, so this is the method you can use to how to use your run list, how to include your recipes from your multiple cookbooks, how to include your recipes from single cookbook, how to combine both the things, your run list and your cookbook. Okay, run list and your include. Okay, so these are the some basics recipes we have done so far. So we'll do this next things under this chef automation tool in your next video. So thank you guys, thank you for watching this video, and all these recipes I will add under this description. So these are the command I will add it, so you can refer it. Okay, so thank you guys, thank you to watching this video. Okay, bye.